You know, while you were teaching, a verse came to mind. Pride.
Mm.
You were talking about pride. Pride cometh before the fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Pride, selfishness, all those wonderful things where you put yourself first. In the Gospels, it talks about a lot of the Pharisees always liked to seek out the seats of honor,
Yeah.
and they would honor God and honor Jesus with their lips, with their words, but their actions and their hearts were far from Him. So that was another thing that they did. They could say one thing but do something else, and in that way they thought they were honoring God because they were saying the right things, but their actions said otherwise. And it's because of pride.
Yep. All right. Somebody just snuck in. Hey, John, how you doing?
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm fine. Just my life's just a little topsy turvy here with this Porsche building and catching up with everything and cutting grass, and so I finally got showered and I'm drinking a kind of a protein smoothie for dinner tonight. But I did want to try to catch up and tune in.
Okay. Well, cool. I'm glad you came. You'll only be, the teachings are both over with, but you'll be here for fellowship after hours, which is the really fun part anyway.
Kind of
Well, what was that, Don?
like an extension of what we've already been talking about.
Right.
Oh,
And we may actually introduce a couple
Well,
of new subjects.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm sorry, John. I didn't mean to cut you off.
yeah, no. Of course, then my mind goes, "Are we being recorded now?" Or
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we're live.
okay. Well, I'll wait till after the recording is and talk to y'all about this a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way,
Oh,
you are going away. We are staying right here. We'll see you in fellowship after hours.
Look.
Okay. Got to do that every week.
yeah.
It's a running joke. Believe me, it should be running right out the door.
Well, I can share what I was going to talk to you about if you'd like. I mean, if we're off the recorder. Well, when I came on, Donald was talking about something that kind of brought up to mind stuff. What he was saying was that their actions didn't show God, but their words were showing God. Or that I was here just even recently with my neighbor. I don't know. I just get upset or disappointed, but I mean, I ironed out the issue, but it's like there's just rottenness in me, and then there's just phoniness too, trying to a neighbor to people. So I'm just struggling with identifying how to be real. And real's not the word I'm looking for. Struggling how to be I guess somebody somebody with substance. Still, that's not the right word. Somebody looking for quality in my life, and just seems like it's, I guess there's a balance, like you were saying last night, Don, you know, like somebody has said, he's passed it 1,000 times and can't find it.
Been there several times in my life.
Yeah, all right.
Well, you know that a good
So,
quality, good quality qualities to have are just love your neighbor, smile, befriend. You don't always have to say a scripture. Just by being friendly and encouraging and humble, uh, your light is shining, and you will stand out in the crowd. And eventually, if they're hungering in person, they'll ask you, "Who are you?" Stuff like that. So I know some people get all tied up in knots sometimes with thinking that they need to go to their neighbor and share some scripture or witness or, but it, it's it's just living together. It's just
yeah,
being a good neighbor,
right.
helping, lending a helping hand, smiling, just little things to help, help build people up, make them think that things really aren't as bad as they look sometimes.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes people will
Uh,
struggle with that, and it'll ruin their whole day.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
we can keep them, or change their perspective or their focus onto something a little more positive. Sometimes they'll forget about that silly nap, and then I'll have to get that domino thing going in the other way instead of the
Oh, right.
uh,
Wonderful.
sometimes you wake up and somebody will say something the wrong way, and it's like, okay, there you go. Your day is down that path, and there's nothing going to stop it, and you have a lousy day. And all it takes is one person to say something so positive and so real, not fake, but just something like, man, you look great today, or or did you get new glasses, or just anything that's genuine, and it'll turn them around, and they may not even think anything of it. But when you start doing that all the time and to everybody, uh, you start to get a little bit of a reputation. And then, people will warm up to you. And then when doors open, you walk through. So,
Oh, right. Awesome. Thank you.
mhm. And you'll know, just follow the peace of God. If you're peaceful and in what you're doing, then you're doing it right. If you are just struggling, then back off. You
Mm, mm,
I
mm,
went to a funeral for a friend of mine, and he died really young, like in his 40s,
yeah.
unexpected. And I just wanted to be in the right place at the right time, just in case. And so I decided I was going to go to the funeral home, and with the intention of raising this guy from the dead. And uh, I just wanted, I felt good about being there. I felt good about going. Uh, when I got there, it was total confusion. Nothing was right. Everything was out of place. The, the, it was just not going to happen. It would have been, everything was a struggle. Once I got there, everything didn't just fall into place. I had to do this. I had to force myself over here. And so I knew that it wasn't going to happen.
Mm.
But I found out while I was there was a huge, huge accident on the route that I usually take home, and they shut down the freeway for like hours. And so I went home a different way, paid my respects to the family, and avoided a really bad accident that I probably could have been in or near or entangled with, because if you'd have timed it out, it could have been very interesting to see how close I would have been to that situation. So, you just walk, and it could have been a twofer. I could have raised the guy from the dead and avoided a big accident. That'd have been awesome. But and there was another time a friend of mine passed away, and I had just finished the Powerful Abundant Living class. Didn't even have the advanced class yet, or any of that, that kind of level of understanding. But boy, I was really excited. I was telling everybody about the stuff I learned in the class, and flipping people's heads on their ear. What? You remember how that what used to be when you tell people what the word says and they think you're nuts. But this was a really close friend. He lived on my street. I grew up with him. He was a really cool guy, a really good friend that I looked up to. He's about 5 years older than I was, but I was in my early 20s when this all happened. And me and my dad went to the funeral home together, and he was a PFL class too. And we're in the room there all by ourselves. Nobody was there. And we just looked at each other and thought, man, wouldn't it be cool if we could just raise this guy from the dead? And we thought, yeah, sure would. But, it was another time where you're excited about something, but you don't get the green light, so to speak. Some people use that green light concept, or the peace of God. I think that works for me, is the peace of God. How do you feel peaceful about this? And so nothing happened that day either, but me and my dad got real close after that, and we've been close ever since. So it's nice to be able to have a parent that you can speak to and talk Bible to, no matter what the topic. And we don't agree on everything, even though we've had a lot of the same training. But it doesn't matter, because we can still talk about it. And it's awesome. And it shows. Other people have noticed, and other people have mentioned to me that they wish they had that. And I thought, wow, I don't even think about it anymore, because it's just normal. I go home, see my dad, and spend the day with him, and all we do is talk Bible 50% or more of the time. We're all talking about this and that, and it just building each other up, and I just don't even think about it anymore, because I almost expect it. If it doesn't happen, I'm kind of bummed. I feel like I didn't really get some quality time with my dad, but it's great. I love him. And I'm glad that other people can see that. One of my nephews married a girl, and she kept coming to all of our little events, our little Christmas parties and birthday parties, and they don't agree with a lot of the stuff that we teach either, but they said they're so impressed with how we're always digging into the word, not just reading it, but digging into the scriptures. They were just so impressed by that. And I think that had a lot to do with why her and my nephew got married. She liked what she saw. Uh, that was good. They're like-minded. They're wonderful, wonderful kids too. Love them too. And but it's just our whole family is like that, and I'm just so thankful.
Wow.
Mhm. And we just give honor to each other. You know, we're not trying to upstage anybody and that kind of thing. Don't have to. You know, after a while, that's kind of stuff just it's not even a temptation. You know.
Uh,
Yeah, I mean, you know, we're like any other family. We have our ups and downs and wobbles and stuff, but that's all they are. You know, just stuff. And then we just let it roll off our back like water off a duck. Hug and love on each other and see you next time kind of thing. So there's nothing so important that it's going to split a family. There can't be anything that important. You gotta keep your family together. I mean, the scriptures is what's going to keep your family together. And uh, if you are humble and don't try to be pushy, just live your life, love on them, then everything's for the most part it's going to work out. They still have to choose, but you do your part, and they'll hear his voice, and you just have to believe that. We trust God. That's what it means to have faith in God, faith in His Word. Is when we see things that He asks us to do, we do them, believing that the results will come. Abraham believed. Did he get into the promised land? No, not in this lifetime. That doesn't mean that promise won't be fulfilled. So things are not always as they seem. They're better.
Right.
I don't even know what I started talking about there.
You know, when it comes to neighbors in my particular neighborhood, okay, I'm just talking my neighborhood, I can have a real major problem. I'm surrounded by Hasidic Jews.
Oh, wow.
And I mean, it could turn into a big thing, but you know what I do? I just smile and wave at them and say, "Hi, how you doing?" And then, blah, 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 blah. Just shooting the breeze for a second, and they go on to continue what they're doing. And, I go on to continue what I'm. You just gotta love people.
Right.
Yeah.
And, not rip them up a new one all the time. Just love them.
Yeah. Yeah, the biggest snowman on the street will eventually melt with enough heat. It might be the last thing on the street that's a remnant of snow, but the warmth of the sun will melt that thing eventually. And that's kind of how I visualize it. You just, a little heat on the situation, a little warmth, yeah. That little cold ice cold snowman gets a little smaller. You start seeing a pulse. Yeah.
So has any of this helped you, John?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. It helped. Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Come in with a
I
problem.
would bring up,
Go ahead.
would say that I know it was mentioned last night, and don't forget when y'all get together with your elders meeting to bring up the quality of the WebEx sometimes, because y'all were breaking up, when we were talking. I don't know if I'm breaking up right now when I'm talking to you guys, but, I, most of it came through, but still it's, I don't know if it might want to look into with Franco.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll do that. I don't know if it had, there's so many things that can affect video broadcasting. It could be you, it could be me, it could be, it depends on all kinds of factors.
Okay.
Like if you're on DSL, it can cause you to break up.
Mhm.
If you're on, if you have cable, you'll be less likely. But there's all kinds of other factors, like, if your setup is wrong, it can not let you in.
Mhm. Bluetooth, Wi-Fi,
Yeah, all of it.
Uh-huh.
your cell phone.
Mm.
Cell phones could become a source of interference. Um, just
Uh,
like,
yeah.
and I'm no electronics wizard, but
Me either.
I know that a lot of that stuff does happen. With my drone, when I'm flying it, sometimes I'll say, you're getting YouTube or Bluetooth interference, stuff like that. And so I know I'm in a Wi-Fi area where it could affect the quality of my flight of the drone. So I have to be real careful, be ready to take over control in case that I lose the GPS recognition and some of those kind of things.
Yeah, that's why we record these things. And tonight, Don was teaching and he got kind of gargled. And I interrupted him and said, go back
Mhm.
and redo that segment and I'll edit it out because, he got gargled. I have no idea why he got gargled.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
new mouthwash I was trying out.
Uh-huh. Uh,
There's a bottle of Listerine there.
uh. Well, thank you guys. It's it's worth worth a lot just to be able to come in and
John, you're getting gargled.
Yeah, he's having a phase out moment here.
20 minutes with people.
Whatever you just said, the whole thing, the only thing I heard you say was people.
I said, it's worth a whole lot. Just 15 or 20 minutes to come online to be with God, to be with godly people.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I cherish Monday nights, if you want to know the truth, especially this section, the after hours section, because we can talk about anything. Yeah, there was 2 teachings that we did tonight. We could sit here and discuss those teachings, but we can talk about anything. You got a problem? Say something. We can sit down and pray about it if you want. There's no law that says we can't pray here. In fact, there's many laws, it's instructions that say to pray. I've got to remember, it's not laws and commands. Now, in this administration, it's instructions.
That's another thing that God honors is free will.
Yes, sir.
Uh,
Sure does.
choose life or choose death. It's our choice. He's not going to take control of your vocal cords. He's not going to take control of your arms. He doesn't work that way.
And he's not going to take anything away from anybody. I wish people would quit saying, God, take away this or that or the other thing. No, you get rid of it if you want to get rid of it.
Huh.
Says, resist the devil and he will flee from you.
Exactly.
That is a promise.
Awesome.
So let me see what time it is here because I haven't got my glasses on.
I got 8:05 in Nashville, so it'd be 9:05 there, I believe.
Yeah.
9:05. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm just wondering because, I mean, you know, I know Don has to work tomorrow and, you know, maybe he needs to get some rest. And I don't want to hold people here just because we normally do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I normally lock the doors and you can't get out.
Yeah. I got to work tomorrow too, but this was really great just for the 15 or 20 minutes I was on, less than that, and maybe 10 minutes.
And
Well, we're glad you're here.
Thank you. What about tomorrow now with Michael's fellowship? Is it going to be on?
I'm running Mike's fellowship tomorrow night.
Okay.
All right. Well, there again, I shouldn't have tonight. I should be there on time.
Well, look, this ain't the way ministry. You don't have to explain why. If you don't show up, you don't have to explain why. Just know we love you and want you back.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm just, communicating that tomorrow, I think should work out for pretty close to normal, but that, it's like my washing machine and dryer is it's put up because of the deck. So I have to go and do laundry somewhere else. And there's just a lot of hoops I've got to kind of jump through that I normally don't have to. And, that puts you at ends wits about, running.
Your routines have been disrupted.
That's exactly right, Don. Yes, sir. Thank you. Exactly.
So you have to work a little harder, think a little more about what to do next rather than just go with the routine.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'll wear you out and it robs you of extra time. And
it'll be this way for maybe a couple months and then it'll be back to normal. And my deck will be a lot better where I can walk out from my kitchen floor onto it, not have to go down steps to get to a laundry space that's out there.
Yeah, sounds nice. Sounds like it's going to be real nice.
Yeah, it should be.
New routines. You'll develop new routines.
Yeah, right.
Then everything will be real nice again.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
So thank y'all for this night.
All right, you are welcome.
Glad we could be here for you, John.
Yeah. All right.
I think when there's more of us, there's more people to talk, and so the evening can drag on a little bit.
Yeah.
But when
especially when Lewis is here, Mike Lewis,
But when we, everybody likes that. Everybody has something to say, and so it takes more time for everybody to say it. And then that always creates a little bit more back and forth as well. But when we're small like this, just 2 or 3 of us, we can get a lot more said in less time.
Much less time, exactly. All right. So in any case, let's call I'm going to end the broadcast. And then if we want to talk a little more, we can. But for right now, we'll see you next week. Same Christian time, same Christian station.